Okay, going to be having our Sunday school lesson today. Thought I'd say a few words on the teachings of Yeshua. This will be from the Sermon on the Mount, the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount. In interpreting his teachings and many other texts, it's good to take a look at the passages that precede the passage you wish to interpret, and then also look at it in terms of the ones that follow. And the one today is Matthew 5:13. It's one where he talks about the salt of the earth and the light of the world. Prior to this passage was the 8 Beatitudes. The Beatitudes are an outline of his teachings. Yeah, everything that he taught is in the Beatitudes. Anything that contradicts the Beatitudes, then I might suggest rethinking. Anything in agreement with the Beatitudes, then you know you've got, then you're on the right track. If you wish to be a follower of Yeshua's teachings. One of the characteristics of his teachings was that oftentimes, in fact, just about all the time, everything he had to say held a double meaning. Look at it one way, and his words mean one thing. Turn it around, and his words mean something else. And in the case of the first beatitude, blessed are the poor in spirit. This, just for example, okay, this beatitude talks about turning away from the arrogance of the body, turning away from arrogance. And once you do this, you automatically enter into the kingdom of heaven. Yours is the kingdom of heaven. The other meaning is you just now come to the kingdom of heaven. It's just now been given to you. So you're new in the way. So you're poor in spirit in terms of turning away from arrogance, and you're poor in spirit in terms of newly entering into the kingdom of heaven. And so you've got a ways to go, outlined by the Beatitudes. So that's just one example. And this first passage following the Beatitudes, where you are the light of the world, or you are the salt of the earth, you are the light of the world, can be looked at in that way as well. This is the first passage of the Sermon on the Mount after the Beatitudes. It sets the stage for all of his teachings. And you might say all of his teachings are encapsulated in this passage. So we'll read it and see what we got. Matthew 5, 13 through 16. Okay. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. And it goes on to say, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. That requires a little comment there. Who is the Father and what is heaven? But you are the salt of the earth. What is salt? First, it makes food flavorful. It brings out the flavor in things. It's deliciousness. Yeah? And salt is also a preservative. And salt is very precious in desert regions. There have been times in history when salt was worth more than gold. So its deliciousness, and it preserves. After some study in relation to other parts of his teachings, the salt is goodness. The salt is goodness. And it says here, you are the goodness of the earth. Okay? You are the goodness of the earth. And the same with, you are the light of the world. Now, what is the light? In all the ancient wisdom teachings, and in many ways, light is truth. Okay? You are the goodness of the earth, and you are the truth of the world. You are. Now remember, this is the Sermon on the Mount, and we'll take it as actually happening. And there were people in the crowd who had never heard him before. So he's talking to everyone. This is a universal message. You are the goodness and you are the truth. If you lose that goodness, then you're going to rely on other people, and other people are going to tell you what to do and how to do it, and they will trample that goodness under their feet. Okay? That's what's going to happen. To maintain that goodness, to know that goodness that is yourself, don't listen to other people. They don't have anything to say to help. Not in this regard. This must come from within yourself. Now, partially this was gotten from the passages that followed after this passage, leading up to the Lord's Prayer. If you look at them, they are very introspective. It's a constant turning away from the world, constant turning away from the attention of others, and indeed hiding what you do if you don't talk about it. So it's an introspection. It's an introspective journey that he's talking about, and it begins with this passage. If that goodness is there, it is selfless. It is beyond the ego. It's goodness. So the truth will automatically shine. You know, without the goodness, it's like putting a basket over the light. The goodness, the truth is there, you just covered it up. With the goodness, the light will shine. The light of truth will shine. And what is the house that the candle fills with its light? You could say the house is your own mind. Or the house is your own experience. Or you could say the house is your spirit or your consciousness. You are lit from within. Now the last part of it, let your light shine before others so they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. And what is that saying? It's saying you don't have to be evangelical. You don't have to go out and shout Yeshua's name all over the place. That's not what his disciples did, and Yeshua would have gotten mad at them if they had. That's what the Pharisees did. That was their path, not his followers. The Pharisees had reasons for what they did, but it's not the way of Yeshua. And it's just by being a good person and doing good things. That's it. It is just by being a good person and doing good things. And this will glorify the Father who is in heaven. Who is the Father? Who is in what is heaven? One way to put it is the Father is your higher spiritual nature. And we can see the Father as an ancient elder looking down on us and guiding the way. So we can make this out to be an entity. You could say a mythological entity. But it is the higher spiritual route that we may have little knowledge of now. So we give it a form and we follow that form. And what is heaven? Heaven is that higher spiritual knowledge come to earth. Heaven is that higher spiritual experience. And it brings to earth. And you do this through the introspection of goodness and truth, and you do it through your good works. Other people will see this and they'll respond. And in a sense, they're not even responding because it's already here. That's the thing. The goodness is already here. The truth is already here. Heaven is already here. Your Heavenly Father is already here. It's all here. And to see that brings forward a harmony that is already present. A truth that is already present. A goodness that is already present. So it's not really a response so much as it is an inspiration for others in the unfoldment or the flowering of that greater knowledge, that greater experience. So there is, you are the salt of the earth, you are the light of the world, and you are. Okay.